we never know what a kid is going to take as their important core memory. So you really just want to treat it all as my words have credence. I can remember times where people said, you can't do this, and it stuck with me. And I remember times where it was just as simple of like, oh, good job. You could be an engineer. And it's like, oh, wow. If you want to be a scientist or an engineer, you can do it. The most important thing is that you want to do it and that you have that interest and desire.
Garrett, welcome to Grow Healthy, Help People, a podcast that Accordis, our company, puts out, talking about nonprofit leaders, the impact they're making, in the organizations they work with. How's your day going?
Pretty good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
I'm good. You're in the Vegas area, and I'm in the Nashville, Tennessee area. So what are things like in Vegas right now? Is it cool and crisp, or is it already blazing hot?
It was nice for maybe about the last 2 weeks, and then it really jumped up. It was over 100 degrees yesterday. So, yeah, really starting to feel the heat.
Yeah, that's great. So you lead STEM for Nevada. You're in southern Nevada. Is that right? Is that where Vegas is? That's where everything's located?
Yeah, so I'm in Las Vegas, leading STEM for Nevada, and that's currently where we're at right now, doing all our work.
So when I say Nevada, I'm saying it wrong. Is that correct? Nevada?
Anyone native will say Nevada, but anyone who gives you a hard time about it, they're just giving you a hard time for no reason.
They're splitting hairs, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
That's great. So tell me a little bit of the overarching mission of STEM for Nevada.
Wow, there's so much that goes into it. So I started actually doing community outreach with Nevada National Security Site, and that's where I work as an engineer full time. And for years, what really prompted it was I felt like I wasn't smart enough to be in STEM, and it was a long road for me to get there. Not just, time it took, but really like emotionally, it was kind of a long road to come to terms with like, no, I really do belong here. And I really figured, well, if I've got those feelings, probably other students have those feelings. What would I have wanted to see, programs I would have wanted available when I was a student?
Yeah. I read on your website, it's like people didn't make you feel like you were quite smart enough to be in STEM. People made you.
Yeah.
Give me more of the details.
Sure. So I was a joker always in school. I wasn't a great student until I got to college. I never wanted to do my homework. I never wanted to turn in my homework, but I would do well on the tests. So being a class clown, people would treat you like the class clown, and teachers would kind of defer to that personality of like, oh, well, this person's not serious. So there were a couple moments where I would maybe do well on a test, and then you tell someone, or the teacher says, oh, this was the highest grade, and it's like, that guy? No. And even like when you would have those bona fides, it's still like, it must have been a fluke. So there was a lot of that from really probably like middle school on, of like, all right, well, I'm just going to be a joker, and I'm just going to be a very social person and not worry about it. But yeah, so that was kind of something.
So you were working, you went to, was it school in Arkansas, is that right?
Yeah, so I graduated high school, and I didn't have any idea what I wanted to do, so I was playing my guitar on the strip for just petty cash.
Okay.
Then I figured, well, maybe I want to do something more. I don't want to play my guitar. So I went to school for English. After about a semester, I realized that was not for me. So I went to school in Reno, northern Nevada, for engineering, and then got my master's from Arkansas, and I'm currently about midway through my PhD with the University of Alabama.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So where are you from originally? From the West Coast
Vegas.
somewhere? From Vegas. Okay,
Yeah.
that's home. What prompted you to choose Arkansas and Alabama for your degrees?
So for Arkansas, it was really who had the program that I needed remotely, because I was still working the whole time. I had 2 kids, now 3, while I was going through those programs. So it was mostly about what would work for me and for my schedule.
Yeah, and you went, I need a degree in this certain area. I need this education. Who offers that? And how
Sure,
much
yeah,
is it, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
So, and there's a lot of great online programs as well for schools like that. There are so many opportunities for students now. It's really an amazing time to come up for learning STEM.
That's great. So you began working in the STEM industry, I guess I would call it. Science, technology. What's the E?
So science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Engineering, the one that you actually do, engineering. Sorry, my brain didn't work for a second there. So you were working in that industry, and then what prompted you to start STEM for Nevada? What was the hey, I want to be involved in this at a different level, not just working, but helping others get into this industry?
Sure. Yeah. So I would do community outreach through the NNSS, and they would go present at like the Atomic Museum, and they would bring schools to them, and they would be involved. They do a lot of great outreach, but uh, we do subcritical nuclear experiments. The PR is a kind of an offset, not necessarily the main mission of that. So I found I would do that, and I still had those feelings of I really want to encourage students who feel intimidated, but I want to do more than what I could do at the NNSS. And that really prompted me to then look at what could I do, what would be the decades long goal that I would really like to get to. So it really started from wanting to do more, and then outlining what would my whole plan be from moonshot goals to what can I do this year.
Sounds like a very engineering approach at that. What's step one, two, three, four, and five? How are we going to get there?
Yeah.
What's the process to manage this? Yeah, that's great. So when did you start the organization?
May 2025. So we just hit our
There you
12
go.
month anniversary like last
Congrats.
week. Yeah.
And you've already won an award from the governor, is that right, or something in the state?
Yeah, from the Governor's Office of Science, Innovation, and Technology.
Okay.
The STEM Advocate of the Year for Southern Nevada. Did not see that one coming. That was a huge honor, huge award. I was so grateful for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. So in year one of most nonprofits, it looks like this. We incorporated, we got some basic details done, and we're trying to get our programs up and running. Tell me about your programs now. What's working now? Tell me more.
Yeah, so we did face those same kind of struggles. Particularly for us, we incorporated, and then going from incorporated to a point where you can ask for money and get into schools and stuff. That's a big leap. So we were hoping, right, incorporate may get started in as soon as this first semester, but no, it took. Of course, it always takes longer than you think. But even in that first semester, we were still able to get to 12 schools. Within our first 12 months, we've done expos. We've gone to 20 schools. We've reached like over 3,000 students direct. I mean, I am very grateful for the work I get to do with NSS because it really aligned what I wanted to do and exactly how to get there. And I feel like I made a lot of really great connections being in the industry beforehand. So it's really nice to be able to go to people and say, I have this idea. Here's directly how it'll build a STEM pipeline for you, and kind of lift up Nevada and these other STEM employers. So it's great to have that foot in industry and to be able to translate. I'm not just I'm coming at it like I really want to inspire the next generation, but to be able to see there are real benefits to these tech employers, and here's how.
Yeah, and also like you said, growing up, you were not the most focused student. That's got to be encouraging to a lot of students that are going, I'm not the valedictorian. I'm not going to be a brainiac sitting in an office building awesome things. You go, you don't have to be the valedictorian to do that. Anybody can do this.
Yeah, and that's really the heart of what it is if you want to be a scientist or an engineer, you can do it. The most important thing is that you want to do it and that you have that interest and desire. Anything else is, I mean, I didn't take math my senior year. I skipped physics.
Yeah,
So,
that's so funny. You know where it starts, Garrett? Some guy comes into the program at their school named
yeah,
Garrett,
sure.
and they go,
Yeah.
oh, I could do
And
that.
that's exactly right. It really boils down to we never know what a kid is going to take as their important core memory. So you really just want to treat it all as my words have credence. I can remember times where people said, no, you can't do this, and it stuck with me. And I remember times where it was just as simple of like, oh, good job. You could be an engineer. And it's like, oh wow, I guess I really could. Thank you.
That's neat. You mentioned a few of your programs a minute ago. Tell me a little bit more about a couple of your programs and how those really work. Are you going into schools or students coming out into the lab and seeing what you do there? Like, how does all that work?
It's so cool. I'm so excited for what we have upcoming. So what we currently do is called Orion Sessions, and we go into schools. We blast it out through the district community partner program, and then we meet up and link up with principals. We go directly into the classrooms. We'll teach them. There's a divide. There's science entertainment, in my feelings on it. There's science entertainment and science education. We really try to strike for the science education while keeping it engaging. So there's real, like it's standards aligned content that we go into the classrooms with, teach something like maybe electricity magnetism or aerospace stuff. We've got some genuine NASA items, but we go direct into the classroom, teach them about STEM careers, spark that interest, prepare them for success in those fields, and then highlight career pathways. Those are the three main, kind of goals that we're going for outreach. We've also got our MEC workshops that are starting up on June 1st of this summer. And that's where we're bringing students into a partner school, and we're going to teach them about controls, electronics, coding, and programming microcontrollers with things that I actually use every day on national security, projects. So, and then at the end, they get to keep these hardware kits. So it's got about 35 sensors and a microcontroller. Goal there: give them the skills, give them the tool set to succeed, and then give them the hardware that they can go pursue all this stuff on their own and really.
Go home and tinker. Go home and
Yeah,
build something. Go home and just try
exactly.
it. So
Yes,
is
yeah.
that a week-long program or a month-long program, or what does it look like?
So it'll go for 6 weeks. It'll go one day a week for 6 weeks, and they're
Okay.
2-hour sessions for the students. And then to piggyback off of that is our upcoming fall program, Field Labs, and
Okay.
that's where we partner with schools and actually put tools and equipment that students can use at school. Like it would
Oh yeah.
maybe attach onto like a library or something, right?
Yeah.
So they go and have these controllers, these kits that they can work through, guided videos to bring them through STEM projects. But like industry relevance is huge to us. Is a big
That's
driver
cool.
for.
So that's so neat. So you got the in-school program, which is kind of like a flyby. You got the deeper dive in the summer. Then you've got these kits you're going to leave at schools with. Hopefully you'll do a flyby and tell a kid about this, and they'll start tinkering with this during their lab time or during one of their science classes. Will bring it in, and then all of a sudden you got somebody whose excitement is blossoming in the STEM area.
Yeah.
That's really neat. So your funding, are you getting funding from some of these organizations that need STEM employees coming out?
Yeah, there's a huge. There are a ton of really high caliber STEM employers around Las Vegas. NNSS is one of them. There's a lot of defense contractors, things like that, NV Energy, and utilities companies. All those people we approach, and there's been a lot of interest so far. And we try to also supplement that with some program revenue as well, just to cut down on
Sure.
just pure donor
Charging for some
reliability.
of the camps or whatever, the summer stuff or something like that. Charging
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah.
That's great. So you're still working a full-time job and you're running a nonprofit that has real time demands. It's not like you're just doing it nights and weekends. Like you're having to go to schools and talk to students. Are you able to just take time off from your other job to do that, or are they willing to say, "Hey, this is like mission critical. Go do this while you're still on the clock"?
Yeah, they've been very accommodating. So it has been a lot of nights and weekends. But also, as things overlap, yeah, I can take time and as long as you coordinate those things and say, hey, this is what I need to do this week. It's not going to impact the work I'm doing at the NNSS. Can I take some hours PTO or flex some hours and make these two schedules work? But you're right. It is a it is a pretty. There's a lot of time that goes into it.
Don't mention the three kids and the wife, right?
Yeah. Well,
How old are
that's
your
actually good. So my oldest daughter, she loves to come help with events. I mean,
Cool.
she loves it and is like a bit disappointed when it's during her school time and she can't, tag along as my assistant.
How neat. How old are your kids?
So my oldest daughter is going to turn 7, so
Yeah.
she's 6 currently. My son in the middle is 3, going on 4, and then we've got our youngest daughter who's 8 months. And
8, 3, and 6. Mine are 19, 17, 16, and 8 years old. So I'm a little bit ahead of you in age. I remember those days. Those are long days, long nights, a
yeah.
lot of keeping humans alive at that point in
Oh
parenting.
yeah.
That's great. Garrett, man, you're doing great work. I appreciate the work you're doing. As you or others are leading nonprofits out there, the back office becomes more and more of a burden. I mean, you're going to have to handle registrations and you're going to have to handle 990s, which probably if your fiscal year's December 31st is due in like 3 days. So like
Yeah.
990s are these things, and you got to handle, you'll have a contractors and payroll. There's things that come onto your plate, marketing, accounting, database that are going to pile up on your plate or others' plates. So if you're watching this podcast and you hear me saying this, Accordis, my company, that's what we do. We're a back office for nonprofits. Accordis.com is our website. I'll also throw stem4nv.org at the end of this podcast. Garrett, if someone wants to get involved in what you're doing at STEM for Nevada, what is the best way for them to get involved?
They can go to our website, so that's stemfornv.org, and we have a contact us page. We
Okay.
also have a get involved where they can, click a button, and those things will go to me or someone else on the team. And I mean, there are tons of opportunities, so I really encourage anyone and everyone to reach out.
That's great. Garrett, thanks for your time today. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks.